Hello and welcome to beautiful Southern California today. And we're here for another roundtable meeting. Where we're going to learn about a great project that's going to come on the market. This is the project that gives an opportunity for a lot of newcomer investors from Asia that invest to migrate to the United States. As part of the due diligence, we come and visit Mr. John Molina office and meet with our executive team and learn more about this project. Also, we have Mr. David also come and Mr. David and Miss Evelyn coming from David Law Firm that here gonna give us some great information that we all can walk away and learn a lot about this investment opportunity, this development program, and the new information that we can all walk away, and then we can use a lot of this information for our own in terms of making decision to invest and migrate to America. And this over the 22 years in the real estate in Seattle, I done over 17 different offerings for the investment. I far, involved with the 67 completed project in the past, right? So have an opportunity to represent in this particular project in this location. It's very, very good, very exciting, and I would like for our investor, and our broker community to really learn about this opportunity. So I would like to take the chance to kind of introduce our team, starting with the owner, developer, Mr. John Molina. Would you introduce yourself and kind of share with us about this great project?
Sure. Thank you, Michael. I'm John Molina, and I am one of the founding partners of Pacific 6, which is the development team on this project. And we are so thrilled and honored to work with you to be able to offer this investment up. Our property was built in 1920s as a hotel, and we are bringing it back 100 years later, and we're going to make it the finest hotel in the city of Long Beach. The city itself is very excited that we're taking this project on because tourism is a major economic driver for the citizens of Long Beach. We're excited because it's bringing additional jobs to the city, probably 200 or so construction jobs, and then 200 or 250 jobs for operations afterwards. And our company fits very well with the goals behind EB-5 because it's not just about making money for us. Now, don't mistake it, making money is important, but it also is important to be part of the community and to be able to share the prosperity with others. And let's face it, here in America, we can trace everyone's family back to immigration. And so it is important that we keep that up because bringing people in from other parts of the country or other parts of the world makes our country even stronger. We have assembled a fantastic team. Our own team includes people who have general manager experience, who have opened up Four Seasons hotels in the past. We have construction directors who have built large pieces of the Los Angeles airport, and they're working for us full time. We have people that I've worked with for 15, 20 years that I'm proud to say are my close friends and my partners in business. And in addition to that, we have world famous designers. We have a great construction crew because it's a historic building. We wanted to make sure we got the right construction crew. And we have received attention from a lot of hotel companies. And we're very proud to say that we have signed a letter of intent with one of the top hotel brands in the world. We can't say who they are just yet, Very soon we'll be able to make that announcement, but it will be something that is unique in Long Beach. And so, Michael, we are very, very glad that you're here today.
That is so great, Mr. John Molina. Thank you for that information. And we learn more about the multiple investment opportunity coming from this great firm and this great team and this incredible Southern California marketplace. I like to getting to know the team. From everybody on the question, for most of the limited partnership, investor is the development process and entitlement, right? We have what it takes, launching this project and take it take it from where we are to where we should be, right? So that investor can, of course, gain their U.S. citizenship, American dream, like myself, and over 1 million Vietnamese right here in Southern California and our other Asia community. So our net on our power team would be, explain about the development and entitlement for the project, and that would be Mr. David. Would you like to lead with that topic?
We have all of our entitlements handled. We are currently slated to start construction in a week and a half's time. The property had already begun under construction before the COVID occurred. So the property already has significant construction that's occurred with all the walls framed up throughout the building, which means it's kind of like in baseball, a ball's on the tee ready to be hit. That's critical to our success because it allows the electrical and the mechanical and plumbing subcontractors to do their work. The other two pieces that are critical for us are the elevators and the enclosure of the building. Those things are all occurring as well in the first 5 months back. That's kind of the game plan, and as we go through all of those scopes of work, the last piece of it is preparing for the 4-star and the fancy interiors that go with it. So luckily, as John had alluded to, I have extensive experience in interiors. I did the international terminal at Tom Bradley Airport at LAX. I had a team underneath me as I headed up the interiors from a project management standpoint, as well as hotel experience, at least 5 in Southern California with a direct hand in. So looking forward to taking this one across the finish line.
And Mr. Dave, Mr. Ben, you mentioned about the construction timeline for the project, and we have already accomplished 40% of the construction out of 100%. Can you share with us the remaining of the 60% and how would that be executed, built out, and get it to the completion of the project?
Yes, sir. So we put in place approximately 40% of work prior to the slowdown. The remaining 60% is scheduled to occur from April of this year, 2022, through October of 2023. That's when we're expected to begin our fixtures, furnishings, and equipment, and we bring in all of those around that timeline to wrap up the project the end of 2023.
So the end of 2023?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Yeah. Next, we also wanted to introducing our next team member, power team, that we're talking about the financing aspect for this particular project.
Sure.
And that would be yes. Mm-hmm.
My name is Renato Alessiani. I'm the youngest U.S. citizen here, I think, because I became a U.S. citizen 2 years ago. So I'm Vice President of Real Estate for Pacific 6. And we secured financing for this project at the end of 2021. The financing was provided by a team effort of two companies, Excalibur and Castle Green Financing. Excalibur provided $48.5 million on a first loan basis, and Castle Green, which is owned by Excalibur, provided $45 million in PACE financing. So we have about $94 million financing completed, and it's already been assigned, and it's already been in place. So that's where we are with financing. It's completed, ready to go.
That's great. You already know the project is already started. All the senior debt and equity is already heavily invested into the project. And the development timeline of the project, of course, it's within reach. And we talk about the completion of the project in the midst of the 2023. That very, very impressive project, I would say. Yeah. And Mr. David, would you like to share with us about the location here in terms of local support? Our public partner, how our public partner have worked with our project to help this great project in terms of moving forward.
Absolutely. So I'm David Telling. I'm one of the founding partners, and we're fortunate to have quite a history here through Mr. John Molina and Molina Healthcare. So our relationships with the city have been well established for many, many years. And the city, the people, the citizens of Long Beach have all shown their support for such a project. I'm on the marketing side, and I have to say this is a marketer's dream. The fact that it has a history, it has famous people involved from its past in the 1920s and 30s, and very much looking forward to our potential partner coming in from the branding side, who feel that they really can represent this hotel in a phenomenal way, and we're looking forward to that in the future.
That's great. That's great, David. And so it's on everybody's intention, thought. Coming to America, such a challenge, and what will be the pathway for the investor to come here. Myself and my family, my dad used to be a U.S. Marine in Vietnam after the fall of Saigon in 1975, and so we tried multiple times to get out of Vietnam back in the 80s. So today in Southern California with the great diversity community and over 1 million of Vietnamese that migrate and call it home over here. We're proud of the fact that we come here, started a new life. America has been a great place for building family and really enjoy the democracy and all the freedom and opportunity come with that. So we'd like to invite in more people, to join our journey, and we're very excited about that. But the one of the pathway to go, one of the pathway to come to America is still immigrant investor program, and the program is started back in the 90s by U.S. Congress, Senate, and the President signed into law. But it's been through so many change. Also, we also have a lab in the program for the last 9 months. Now we have a new law that come into the market that allow for the investor to get involved into this program for the next 5 years. And the person that I would like to introduce to us that really share some great legal information about immigration, the law. Today we have Mr. David and Evelyn from the law firm. So Mr. David, would you sort of share with us what will be the updated on the program, and how many clients and how many projects that you and your firm have helped in the past?
Thank you, Michael, and thank you for the invitation. We really appreciate being here. A couple of trivia issues. Firstly, when I came to the United States in 1980, with my brothers, our first business was here in Long Beach. Secondly, in 1990, I was visiting Washington on a seminar and went into the Senate, and there debating this law was the late Senator Kennedy and the current President Biden. And 6 months later, that was June, 6 months later the law was passed. And in January, February of the following year, I filed one of the very first EB-5 cases in this country. So I've been at this for a long time. But other news you might not notice, hear an accent. I'm also an immigrant. I've been in this country for over 40 years. And it has been the best thing that I could ever have done for myself and my family. So I commend it to anyone who's looking for a new, brighter future. This is a very, very good place, probably the best in the world. So with that, let's look at what the law is about. As Michael had mentioned a minute ago, the law on EB-5 had come to an end in June, of the Regional Centre program had come to an end in June of last year. And this was a debate back and forth. It was really sort of not a very exciting time. It was quite a tense time. But eventually on March 15, President Biden signed a new law relating to the integrity and reform of the EB-5 program. Now, this is exciting in a number of ways. Firstly, one of the big problems in having people invest in the program was its continuous sunsetting. In this regard, it has now been extended for a whole 5 years, which is the most that's happened for a long, long time. Secondly, a very important provision is called the grandfathering provision. That provision allows people who started filing before the sunset of the program in June of this past year can now complete those cases. And if, for some reason, the EB-5 program sunsets again in the future, anyone who's in and filed by the time of the sunset will be allowed to complete those cases. Very important, because it doesn't leave people on a wandering end as to, will I ever finish this? Am I going to get caught in the middle, as some people seem to have been in 2021? Well, no, that's not going to happen again. Some of the issues are that the price was increased. Well, this has been expected. You can't keep the same price from 1990 to 2021 and expect people to wonder why you're putting it up. Well, on a calculation basis, they came out with some prices in 2019, I believe it was, which were much more expensive than the final outcome now. I'm not going to trouble you with the old numbers because they're no longer relevant. The numbers today are that in the higher area, the normal EB-5, it's 1,050,000. So that means there's no special deal. It's wherever you happen to have your project, you will invest that amount. It's much less of a spread than it used to be to the lower amount, which is called a targeted employment area, or a TEA. Now, TEAs are either rural or high in employment, or they now have a small little new category called infrastructure. So they've also done a set-aside. They've said, we will reserve a certain number of the 10,000 visas specifically for rural, 20% of them, that's about 2,000, maybe more. 10% of them for high unemployment, that's 10,000, and 2% for the infrastructure, which is 200. So of the usual number of 10,000 visas available per year, we're going to have set aside 3,200 for people in the lower investment level. That is not to say people cannot invest into the lower level after those numbers are reached, but it's no longer reserved for them for that purpose. I think that's a nice introduction to this. There's a lot of other stuff. We can go on for quite some time, but let's see what Evelyn may want to add, because she's my trustee partner and our co-managing partner, and she knows her stuff. So Evelyn, please.
All right. Hi everyone, my name is Evelyn Han. I am a managing partner at David Hurston & Partners LLP. Just like David Hurston mentioned, David filed one of the very first EB-5 case in the United States back in 1991. And ever since then, we've been filing thousands and thousands of EB-5 cases in the US. If you think about it, some of the solo practitioners or smaller size law firms, immigration firms, they file, if they're lucky, 20 to 30 EB-5 cases a year. When things were really great and busy, we used to file 400 to 500 EB-5 cases per month. That's the comparison that I wanted to share with you. And Therefore, we're one of the highest EB-5 filers in the nation. And we've been through a lot of different highs and lows, good times and bad times, and we've seen all the changes to date. And I also was an immigrant myself, so I've been there and done that, and I know how excruciating and painful and nerve-wracking the whole process can be. So when it comes to immigration, we take it very seriously. Not only me and David Herson, but all of our attorneys are either immigrant or from immigrant family members. So we take it very personally, and it is not just one of our immigration cases that we have to process to make money. And yes, approval means it feels nice. No, we take it very seriously and personally. And each one of our cases, whoever walks into our office door, we always try our best to make sure that they walk out the door with positive result.